Everyone, thank you so much, Net Zero 2030, for having us, and thank you so much for inviting us. I'm Taymiyah Khan, Eco-Society at Heriot-Watt University.
And I'm Katia. I'm a PhD student at Heriot-Watt and also president of the Net Zero Society.
Today, we'll be mainly speaking about what our societies do and how they help students get involved in sustainability and what we as societies do to help elevate their voices. Our generation faces the consequences of climate change within our lifetimes. Not only does it make us more climate anxious, but more active of our situation and our very future stakes on climate change. Therefore, our time at university plays a crucial role. University helps cultivate a community of young adults preparing for their future and careers, and within this community there will always be a place for climate and social justice. The very result of young people taking initiative is the very foundation of our societies. Eco-Society and Net Zero Society at Heriot-Watt are societies run and guided by students where like-minded young people come together and do their best to achieve climate justice, whether it's pushing innovation or community. Our societies are spaces at Heriot-Watt University where we focus on sustainability. Why Eco-Society is so important? Eco-Society is important is it's a voice for students who care about the environment. Student voices like ours deserve to have a place regarding sustainability, whether it's small concerns about campus life or our own community concerns regarding the climate crisis. Our voices must have a place and they must be heard. Even through my own experience when I first joined, it's because I wanted to get involved in the conversation. I want a future career in sustainability, and due to my own concerns, I'm worried about the planet, and I want something that actually helps in any way possible, even if it's a small change, even if it's a small community change, it's something important. Even now there's a lot of students and a lot of student voices and people I work with and have heard from and met that want to be involved and have a lot of opinions, but it's so easy for our voices to just be considered insignificant or to just be like, oh, what's the point? My voice, my efforts, what's the point of even recycling, because it's something so small when a lot of big corporations do a lot worse. And nowadays as well, there's just a huge problem with students feeling like their opinions, efforts, and voices don't matter and they won't change anything. But at least a space like Eco-Society, our voices are actually heard by a sustainability team, and we have a community where we can push our voices to actually be heard by university. Eco-Society's main goal this year has been creating a solid community for people. We've also spent time spreading awareness to students, create safe spaces for a lot of stuff like climate anxiety, which is a big issue as well. Within mental health, we do little eco cafes and we do little crafting things, and so we've done little like crochet, and we provide free tea and coffee as well, just for fun. And it's not a place that it's a place where again people can come and discuss ideas. We do little events like tree planting, stuff that helps our local area at Heriot-Watt, like within our allotment. We also do a couple of litter picks, and we did one with Napier's conservation volunteers as well. And we'll probably be doing another one, but this time it might be Heriot-Watt versus Napier. So if you guys want to see if you can beat us, if you have more trash around your campus. And we've had a couple of fundraisers as well for local community spaces like Shrub Co-op's Zero Waste Hub, and alongside Bats Without Borders, who raise money for endangered bats. Plus we do little tours of Edinburgh, highlighting the little places students can go to that are eco-friendly and safer for the environment. Yeah, that's the main part of what we do, and I think the next slide should just be our little activities. And yeah, I'll pass it on to Sarah.
Okay, if you could go to the next slide. I don't know who's controlling. Okay, so I'm president of the Net Zero Society at Heriot-Watt. And we kind of have four main objectives as a society. So I'm just going to go through kind of what we do from all four. So next slide. So one of the things that we do is the Heriot-Watt Sustainability Roadmap. So this is where we work with the university's staff sustainability team along with the Eco-Society, and one of the things that we do is we give students a voice. So these photos are from the Sustainability Forum, where basically students are able to say, I don't like that this is happening on campus, we don't have enough food waste bins, we don't have enough recycling, and we tell the staff that, and they're like, okay, we can do something to change that. Next. And that also kind of paved the way for this fun adventure. So a few of us last year from the Net Zero and the Eco Society were able to go to the BIFA waste management facility, and that's where a lot of Heriot-Watt's waste and recycling goes. So we were able to see what happens to the waste. So, for example, if you accidentally throw something that's contaminated into recycling, they accept a certain percentage that they'll still take, but if it's too contaminated, they'll just throw it to the landfill. So we were able to kind of see what they do with the waste, see how they recycle it. They kind of pull apart mattresses and separate the springs and the fabrics, and it's really cool to look at. So yeah, that was a cool way that we could kind of use those forums and go there. So another thing is workshops. So this workshop was a couple of years ago. It was a zero waste cook-along. So we got the society members to come together and we cooked a vegan meal to show people that vegan food can be delicious and it's more sustainable. And we showed them how you can deal with your food waste. So we have allotments on campus, and you can go and basically put we just took all our potato skins and onion skins and we threw them onto the compost heap at the allotment. So it's basically saying you can make a zero waste meal pretty easily. You just have to try a little bit. Next. Another thing that we did was last year we had a research team, and we made a carbon footprint survey. So we got people from our society to come and help us come up with what questions we want to ask the students. So there's such a thing as like scope 1 emissions, scope 2 and scope 3. I don't know the exact definition, but basically scope 1 emissions are like more direct to the university, so like their energy that they spend on heat, I think. And then scope 3, for example, is kind of everything that goes on. So as international students, your flights to and from home, those count as university scope 3 emissions. So our survey was kind of looking at all of those emissions. So we asked students, how do you travel to campus? Do you take the bus? Do you bike? Do you drive? How often do you go home? And is your home, in Aberdeen, or is it in Canada? And we kind of collated all that information and gave it to the sustainability team to help them understand what these students do and what they want to see. Next, please. A quick thing is some of our social activities. So last year, I think it was last year, we visited Whiteley Wind Farm, and the year before that we went to visit enquires, which is a chemical refinery in Grangemouth, and that's just a fun way to kind of bring students free of charge. We were able to get funding and rent a bus and go up to near Glasgow to see the wind farm, and they took us on a tour. They explained to us how it works, so that was really fun to do. And kind of our biggest thing that we do as a society is we have these lectures and networking. So we have these conferences. So they're becoming an annual thing. So last year we had the Engineering Net Zero Conference where we invited speakers from industry and from academia, and they talked to us about what their companies are doing for sustainability. And we also had a poster session there for posters focused on sustainable innovations. And then we had a networking dinner afterwards. Next slide. And we did it again this year, almost exactly a month ago. So again, we did a very similar thing. So we had 6 speakers from industry, and then afterwards, so they gave about 15-minute presentations, and then afterwards, we had the speakers have a panel session, and it was a nice time to have the professionals and the audience discuss. And I think it's really important because as a PhD student, I'm able to go to conferences and network with industry and academia to kind of get myself into the loop. But I know that with undergraduates, it's really hard to do that. So this is a good opportunity for people maybe nearing the end of their degree to go here and listen to talks from these industries and how they're being sustainable, and be like, okay, I'm interested in that field. And then they could go and actually talk to the people who work there and kind of get their foot in the door. So it's really important to kind of spearhead the sustainability, because you have students who are interested in sustainability and industries who are interested in sustainability, and basically connecting them. So it was really great, and again, we had an networking dinner after. And I'll pass it over again.
And as well, another thing that we work with is our sustainability team. I think it was Eco-Society that pioneered the university to get a sustainability team, but we've made a lot of progress since then. And for the forums that were mentioned earlier, they're a part where students' voices are heard by staff, and that's actually such a crucial point, because within the past year we've managed to get food waste bins on campus halls, but they were taken down this year due to just too much contamination with different bin sites. And we're working with them to try and bring them back, but there's a lot of little hurdles and little steps, especially because uni students are not the cleanest people in the world, especially freshners. I don't know if anyone has first year trauma, but again, certain students are not the cleanest people. So asking students, here's a little food waste caddy, go when you empty it, then clean it, is not going to work, because again, it's just going to attract flies and probably mice. So again, working with students and actually hearing from them being like, yeah, some students aren't clean, actually helps staff realize, oh, we need a couple more steps to actually implement this. And again, it's just a crucial part of staff and our voices passing on. And just again, we bring up our problems around campus and what we want to see from the university and how we want to see it. And again, they work with us directly to come see those changes through. And for the sustainability forums, our team was nominated for a Green Gown Award, so that's us at the award ceremony, which was exciting because again, it's a big community thing, and it's one of the biggest things the sustainability team do, and it helps elevate our voices and also helps them gauge what students want. Because I feel like when they speak